into this place.
After Hammond had fitted some new tyres, James and I abandoned our visit to the Uffizi and escorted him out of town.
Hammond, we could see the smoke from your tyres from the other side of the city.
I know.
Nobody in history has ever donutted an Aston Martin.
Yeah, they're not young buyers, are they?
No, they're refined and cultured. I envy you, Hammond, because you get to look at my Aston Martin.
Yeah, but there's a big problem with it visually.
What?
It's brown.
Sunburst orange is what it is.
Hey, Jeremy, I shouldn't worry. We all know the expression. Brown sky at night, shepherd's delight. That bloke's been done for that theft, you know. They caught him brown-handed.
Starting to imagine what Richard Hammond would look like without a head or skin. Speed of that car of yours.
199 miles an hour.
Exactly. This will do 200, so back off.
Well, yes, but it's 100 grand more. That's a very
Expensive mile an hour.
Why have you brought me to this not at all cultural place?
Because I want to teach him a lesson about what real speed is.
Well, he's got over 700 horsepower.
Yes, I know, but you remember Jaws, big metal teeth, huge man? James Bond simply threw him through a window, and that's what I'm going to do to him.
Do you mind if I don't take part in this?
I'll do it.
So, as Hammond had some new tyres fitted again, I took to the track for some sighting laps.
Now let's get one thing straight from the start. Aston Martins are not really designed to do track work. They're designed to look good, and that's it. Yes, the chassis on this, the DB11, was developed by a former Lotus engineer, but they actually told him to tune it more for comfort than handling. That being said, this has an aluminium chassis and some aero trickery. Air is sucked into holes behind the rear windows and then shot out of a vent on the boot lid, giving me a sort of air rear wing. Giving me grip. A lot of grip. And the traction control is simply astonishing. In most cars, it's like somebody hitting you on the head with a hammer, but in this, it's just going, hang on. There you go. Bloody hellfire, this is very, very good. Certainly, it's good enough to be able to totally destroy Hammond's idiotic Dodge.
This does not have a magnesium roof, carbon fibre prop shaft. The engine isn't made from aluminium, it's made from cast iron. And you get the impression that it made it from stone if they could. What it does have is vast reserves of power and even vast reserves of character. This thing is just hilarious. Look at him in his little brown Aston, being all in control and just not having fun, is he? I mean, what's the point?
Showboating probably thinks I can't. Well, I'm sorry, Hammond, this is a 600 horsepower rear-wheel drive Aston Martin.
So I turned the traction control off and all hell broke loose.
It will do this all day.
Meanwhile,
One of the purposes of the original Grand Tour wasn't just to look at things and learn about things, it was also to enhance your capabilities. You would learn to do things. You might do, I don't know, writing sonnets, playing musical instruments, regional cooking maybe. I'm having a go at watercolour painting. It's absolutely delightful. Apart from my reverie is occasionally interrupted by the disgusting bellow of Hammond's muscle car.
Now, Mr. Hammond appears to have organised a helicopter to record the event.
Ha-ha, Clarkson! Get past me now! Smoke screen you!
What a moron you are, Hammond! Get out of my way! This is not a particularly cultural thing to do, but it is very good fun.
Even though Hammond and I were having a big smoky riot, we'd learned nothing at all. So we decided to get scientific and do a proper, timed flying lap.
This matters. This is for Britain, this is for Europe.
No silly business. Let's just get round this as fast as we can.
With the flying lap completed, we met to compare times.
Go on, then.
All right then. 2.
Yes.
Yes. 18 seconds. Why?
18?
Yes. Why? What have you got? What are you?
18? But you not making that up?
No, 2 minutes 18. 0.79.
God for that. It's crushing. 3-5.
Well, it's hardly crushing, is it? No, because that's.
I don't know why you accepted the challenge.
It's less than half a second for your extra 100 grand. Well, hardly a big blow, is it? It's £100,000 for half a second and 1 mile an hour top speed.
140 years of independence, and that's the best they can do.
As Hammond cheered himself up with some donuts, and then another set of tyres, I went to join James.
Oh, shit.
Did you beat him, by the way?
Yep.
Good man.
As the sun slipped behind the Tuscan hills, we spent an enjoyable hour or so painting. But then...
Ooh. What are you doing?
I'm defusing a bomb, Hammond. What do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, I'm baking a cake.
It looks like you're painting.
We are painting.
Hammond then decided he'd like to have a go as well.
Right. Oh, well.
Soon, our art was finished.
I think I've rushed mine.
Still, could be worse.
It was difficult before I saw this to imagine anything more hideous than the actual car. But you've done it, Hammond.
It's the way that you've managed to eradicate any sense of place.
Yeah, I know.
He's twitching. Even when he looks at the picture of your car, he's actually twitching.
Off to buy a goodbye present for him.
I think scissor doors actually make me horny.
And when he'd finished his Brian Sewell routine, we met up to hand it over.
We have had it done for you.
It's brilliant.
I know. It's in the style, actually, of an 18th century Italian artist called Pompeo Bettoni, who made a pretty good living out of painting, visiting Americans on the Grand Tour, and making them look like refined, cultured English gentlemen.
Yeah. Think of it as a souvenir of your trip.
Well, thank you. Well, except a souvenir is what you get at the end of a trip.
Yeah, exactly.
While Hammond struggled to get the painting in his car for the long trip back to England, James and I set off alone into the glory that is Italy.
Oh my word, look at that view. Oh! Holy moly.
That evening in Verona, we dined well at a Michelin-starred restaurant. And then we went to see something called Carmen, which wasn't at all what we were expecting.
He hasn't gone home, has he?
The next morning, we were up at first light to attempt another escape.
James, that's his room. This has a quiet start facility on it, but I don't know how it works. I could stay. It's really quiet. You'll be all right. Don't bong.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's firing 80 times a second, roughly. Oh, no noise. I can just drive out of here.
Oh, hello, car trouble.
Yeah. Yes.
Typical Aston, you see.
It's broken down.
Anyway, look, you haven't got long to get it going because I'm going to be down again in a second, changed and ready to roll.
Whilst Hammond was upstairs chiselling off his sweat, James and I made a run for it. And in case he caught up with us on the motorway, we took some precautions.
This is the work of a genius. We are now protected from Mr. Hammond completely. James's head was a bit of a problem with this plan, but we've solved it.
Don't worry if you don't recognise me, viewers. It's me.
The question was, would Richard Hammond recognise him?
Here comes Richard Hammond now. Just look straight ahead. Look straight ahead.
And the answer was...
Not looking. Oh, God, he's waving at me.
Well, he's clocked us, hasn't he?
I think you're better off getting stone chips than looking like that.
Mayday, mayday, I'm disintegrating.
Whilst James unwrapped himself and Richard filled up through his ruined present, I had another brainwave.
We're going to lead him into the centre of Vicenza, yeah?
Yes.
I've sent out a tweet, and I put this on Facebook, saying that Richard Hammond will be appearing in the main square, okay?
Yes.
So he gets out, he's mobbed,
Yes.
we scarper,
Very good.
okay?
I like it. Have you done it in Italian? Or...
Yes.
Yeah, good.
The only thing is, I've made a slight mistake. I have actually said here that Richard Hammond will be, I wanted to say appearing, but I've put exhibiting himself.
Well, it'll get a crowd.
Back on the move, I put my plan into action.
Thought we'd turn off the motorway here, Hammond. Vicenza's got a donutting area in it.
Is it?
Yeah, no old statues. There's Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm right, aren't I, James?
I think they've got an American football team, haven't they, in Vicenza?
They have the Vicenza Red Bears.
Okay. We'll have a little mooch about.
Soon we were approaching the centre of the town.
I just need a crowd big enough to keep him occupied for 20 minutes. don't know how many people will have read my tweet. A couple of hundred.
I was nearly right.
Oh my God. This has gone really wrong. This has gone so spectacularly wrong.
Oh, my word. Hello, is there an event on?
It's Mr. Hammond you're looking for. Mr. Hammond is in the Dodge.
Oh, this is unnerving. Is it always this busy here? What's going on today?
Oh, look at that, we're free, and Hammond is stuck. Yes, we're out. Hammond is doomed. He's doomed.
Leaving Hammond in what he thought was the muscle car capital of Italy.
They like a rev. They do like a rev here.
James and I head
Over by his brown Aston, but I was truly smitten with the Rolls-Royce.
What is it about a Rolls-Royce? A lot of people would say this isn't a car lover's car. It's not sporty, it's not dynamic, doesn't have any modes for you to set. You can't even change the gears. You can only put it in forward or reverse. And yet, I think this is a car for people who love cars because it gives you an entirely different driving experience. There is no other car that's quite like a Rolls-Royce, no other car that cosets you in the same way. This is a car that is kind to you. I think it is actually impossible to be unhappy if you're driving this car. And look at some of the things I've had to put up with. Richard Hammond, the Dodge Hellcat, Richard Hammond, the Dodge Hellcat, and I'm still happy.
as we arrived.
Yeah.
A moron.
An inappropriate brown powerboat.
Orange.
Is that allowed round here? I'm surprised, actually.
Lads!
What a yob.
I mean, I thought his Hellcat was bad.
Hammond? No.
That's really inappropriate, Hammond. Don't do that. This is very
Hammond, this is
wobbly.
good. Don't do that, Hammond.
Who's hungry? Who's for donuts?
Hammond, stop it!
Whoa! Yeah! What's the donuts?
Stop it!
Oh.
Hammond!
Brain crash! Yes, it's time for a top celebrity to try their hand at our fearsome test of skill, coordination, and observation. Now, so far, I should explain, no celebrity has actually made it to the tent.
No, they've all died.
Yes, but our fingers are crossed for this week because our guest is a huge star. You'll have seen him in Mission Impossible, Star Trek, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and he's here to talk about his new movie, Spielberg movie, Ready Player One. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Simon Pegg! And there he is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, with his cornetto.
Always a cornetto.
Now, he's battled aliens, he's battled zombies. He should have no problem at all with a short stroll through this pretty little town.
Of all his films, it's Paul that I like best. I think that stands
Because
out. as
Paul
something
was the
different.
forerunner of Ted, really.
you think about it,
it
yeah,
was
it was.
first, it came first.
It's Hot Fuzz. It's Hot Fuzz for me. It's just because of the fight scene.
There he is. He's on the bridge. Looks like he's been hassled by seagulls.
They're after his cornetto, I think.
Yeah, they're after his... Oh! Oh!
Oh, God.
Literally nothing we can do.
We're going to get a reputation.
Does that mean he's not coming on then?
Well, James, he fell into the harbour and the icy waters of the North Sea are now filling his lungs. It's a no. He's not coming on.
Oh, God, there's a rescue. Well, look, I anticipated something like this.
Did you?
Yes, and so I prepared something else we can do to fill the time. It's this, okay? You know, Google have been trying to build a self-driving car. For 7 years they've been at it. Got a picture of it here. It's absolutely hideous. And I was thinking, well, how hard can it be?
Oh, God.
No. 10 days ago, I thought, well, I'll give it a bash, okay? And I've already finished it.
Have you?
Yes, it's here.
Is it?
Yes, it's here. Let's bring it out. It's phone operated. So, hang on.
What?
No, here it comes. Right, forwards, forwards. Please try not to be distracted by the harrowing scenes of left, straight. The harrowing scenes of Simon's lifeless corpse being fished from the harbour. I know that's upsetting for some people. Right, OK, we need to make a bit of a hole in the crowd back here because I'm going to bring it into the tent studio so you can see how brilliant I've been. Forwards.
Really?
That is brilliant.
It's...
Thank you, everybody. Left, left, left.
It's
left.
hideous.
Forwards.
It's...
Stop.
No, hold on.
Stop.
It's not brilliant. It's hideous is what it is.
How can you say it's hideous? I've copied Google styling completely.
Is that a septic tank?
Yes, it is. Cut in half, and then I've mounted on the top this chaise longue so the owner can recline in great comfort.
Yeah, yeah. How does it actually work?
Brilliantly. Down here, very small, little camera. That feeds a view of the road ahead to the system inside.
What system?
Well, there's bonnets here. Come round, I'll show you the gubbins. Ready? There it is.
Well, it's just a man. It's just a man in there.
It isn't.
Well, it is.
No. No. It's not just a man, this is a Romanian man. I am providing employment for newcomers to our country.
Oh, God.
What do you mean, oh, God? Think about it. Google, yes, Google, they use electronics to take away the work of a man. This gives him a job, it gives him dignity.
Dignity?
Yes, dignity.
It's a bit feudal, isn't it?
It's a bit brilliant, is what it is. Let me close the bonnet. I'm going to go for my first ever drive. I'll go to the foot of our stairs here, which is a Yorkshire expression. Great thing is, it's so easy to get in and out of, you know. Look, there I am. And now I don't need the phone, I can use my speaking tube.
Oh, God! There's a man in there!
What's Romanian for backwards? Inaiupi, I think. Inaiupi. It is, obviously. It's bilingual.
This is evil!
Google hasn't made it work. I have. In it backwards. I'll just stick to English. Backwards. Backwards. Thank you so much. British engineering, ladies and gentlemen, with Romanian parts. What a combination that is. Stick. Ah, my head.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm glad he's gone.
So am I.
No, I'm particularly glad because of what's coming up next.
Beginning of the series, Jeremy Clarkson said when we were at a racetrack in Portugal, and he said it on the television, that if his McLaren P1 wasn't faster than Hammond's Porsche 918 or my Ferrari, the Ferrari, we could knock his house down.
Well, it wasn't. So one weekend when Jeremy was away, we, well, roll the tape.
This is it. 200 years old and built from beautiful Cotswold stone.
Now, I want to make it absolutely clear that this is Jeremy Clarkson's actual house.
Yeah, it really is. I'd swear to my children's lives on that. It's Jeremy's house. He bought it when he fell in love with the view.
It is a lovely view, actually.
It is. Be even better soon without a house in it.
Our plan was to smash the place down with some big demolition equipment. But there was a problem.
In this country, you can't knock a house down if the council find evidence of bats living in it. Well, they did, and now we've been told we've got to take the roof off quietly and by hand to give the bats the chance to go and live elsewhere. James, I can't help but notice I am doing all of the work here.
Yeah, you're going to have to. I don't like it.
It's just a ladder. It's a simple enough thing to operate. Climb it.
Not if you're me, it's not. How many bats are there?
One.
One?
Yes, a bat.
Just kill it.
We'll get a prison, mate. We can't.
Well, just because that little winged mouse bastard is hanging upside down in there feeling smug with himself because I'm up this ladder, we can't knock the house down.
Yeah, we've got to do it. No choice. So get up here and get on with it.
Hammond, I hate heights. You know I do. I hate ladders. I hate bats.
Many hours later, and with no help at all from Spider-Man, the roof was finally off and the bat was free to move. But would it?
Why doesn't it go and live in there? Because let's be honest, that's perfect if you're a bat.
Yeah, well, it might, but it's got to decide to do so.
Can we encourage it?
Yes, James, why don't you go and stand in that barn and squeak in a sultry and erotic manner?
That night, Spider-Man stood in the barn squeaking in a sultry and erotic manner. And the bat eventually succumbed. So the next morning, we were ready to go.
This thing really works. This rocks. Oh, my word.
At this rate, we'd be done and dusted in no time. However, my finicky colleague had an issue.
Hammond!
What?
Stop!
What?
Stop! You don't just smash it to pieces. You're supposed to sort of dismantle it and leave it in neat piles. It's all got to be tidied up. You can't just leave it like that. It's actually quicker if you do it methodically.
Oh, God.
But
Only
it is.
you would say
You
that.
want neat piles of bits of the house that then can be carted away. You need to work on that bit and that bit to start with. Then the rest of it will fall down neatly into a heap.
How can you make even this boring?
It's not boring. It's the way. I've watched it done. That's how you do it. You don't just smash it up. I'll do it.
James then commandeered my machine. So I got another one and carried on regardless.
I've got it. Oh, it's like winning one of those things at the fair.
Thanks to me, at least, progress was being made. However,
You're stuck on something. Oh! Oh, I've broken my digger. Oh, dear.
with me out of action and James achieving nothing, a new approach was needed. But first, we had to clear the site of Jeremy's most treasured possessions.
Shakira. 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 Oh! That is a strong image. It's a tiny doll with pins in it and your face.
Well, look, this is his photo album. It's probably really precious. Oh, it's a bit disturbing.
What? They're all of me.
Yep.
At this point, we decided not to clear the site of his treasured possessions and moved swiftly to Plan B.
Short ceremony, say a few words.
Nah. That got it.
Done.
So let's just get this straight. You blew up that picture of me on the horse.
Yep.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Ta-da!